Rundown, 1st of August. Jeff D-Lo, Tommy, Francis. Moment everyone's been waiting for. It's finally here. The High Noon Pool Pack is back. My personal favorite in terms of all the variety ones, though you can't go wrong with any High Noon. Grab a case, text the group, get your friends over to the nearest pool, get that pool pack, drop it on over there, and press them, and then put them down and get some more. Only here for the summer. So now's the time to enjoy lime, peach, and 2 limited edition flavors, guava and kiwi. The kiwi is elite, especially in my opinion. As always, the High Noon Pool Pack is made with real vodka, real juice, and just 100 calories. Gluten-free as well, and no added sugar. Visit highnoonspirits.com to find a pack near you. What's going on, guys? What's happening?
Good to see you, Jeff. I like you've brought some fire to the world today, and I love that. I love me a little bit of heat.
Yeah. Jeff D versus Coleman, they were exchanging some good blow for blow. That was just like end of the battle. You say nice.
Yeah, I mean, we can get to it at some point. We can get off to the top if you want. I mean, he was a humongous bitch and pulled the bitch move, and I had to call him out for it. So I mean, blamed me for quitting his job. So, well, and then got actually not even worse than that. He blamed me, and then it ended up getting a Dave rant about me on my name, which is just that's never good. You don't want that.
How do you address the Dave allegations?
He did yell at me. Yeah, that did happen. I don't know of any other instances where that happened. He did tie it into the fact that yes, I did tell Coleman's coworker, who was a friend of mine, Justin, who was texting me the morning that Coleman no-showed his job. I think Justin's words were, "Am I a cuck loser if I wait outside his house for him?" And I said, "Yeah, you should fucking leave," which is my advice. I think Kirk would have probably murdered him if he lied about Coleman. So yes, I did that. Whether you can call that gossip or not, felt like I was helping out a friend. Coleman clearly not a friend. So whatever.
I'm gonna miss having Coleman in the Barstool universe. I know he'll pop back up eventually. Hopefully not with a New York Times hit piece, but I'll just miss like scrolling through Twitter and seeing Coleman not know Aaron Judge's number or saying my black brothers and sisters or whatever old clip. He'll be missed.
I definitely vouched for him when he got the job too. I definitely helped out with I'd help him out with things here and there. I helped produce the show when Kirk was in Chicago. I helped make videos for their live show. So for him to whatever, and fuck him. I mean, really nothing else to say on that, I guess. Yeah, go fuck himself. But also, I mean, it's not like he kind of like went out in like a blaze of like high glory. He after Dave mentioned that about me, he basically told Coleman he was worthless. So
yeah, I mean, I could watch Dave and Coleman go back and forth for hours.
That's the thing about Dave, which I mean, we've all been yelled at, I guess, on various levels. Francis and I very famously yelled at over the span of the same day a couple summers ago. But Dave will do that where Coleman said, what did he say? He said like a thank you for my time. Or Dave's like, why? I didn't do anything for you. Yeah. It's like, I don't like you. Don't thank me. Like you fucking loser, basically. So yeah.
I like it when Dave and Kirk, I think they do this better than anybody. They will turn up their literalism where if you say something casually and you think this is just a throwaway comment, both of them have the ability to say, you just said this and those words are wrong.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, I didn't even realize I said that. I didn't even realize I said those words.
You have to carefully choose every word that's about to come.
Very careful.
If I recall too, the thing that he referenced yelling at me over, like I thought I was like, I feel like I didn't do that. And then the way he explained it, I was like, well, you fucking got me. And I was like, yep. I was like, fuck. But yeah, so I guess that's the end of the Coleman run at Barstool. 2 runs. Congrats to him. He did lose his job, which he didn't deserve, but just happened. You know, he got laid off. It was part of the process. He got rehired again, and he's into the wind. He's gone again. He's going back to New Jersey.
I'm happy to know that I'm not the first person to lose the job twice because I'm certainly eligible. And my contract.
That is true. That's a feather in your cap. Now you can't lose it twice. Now you can't be the first to lose it twice.
Well, I mean, they do, right?
What's that?
Nadu's lost it, I assume, multiple times.
That could be.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Did he lose it 3 times technically?
I don't know. I don't know if we're talking like when ink officially hit paper, but I feel like he's been in and out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, that was it's always yes, I took it on the chin from Dave on the Unnamed show, but unrelated to that, Coleman go fuck himself.
Nice.
I'll accept that from Dave, but also Coleman blaming me for not waking up to his alarm at the ripe age of he's like 26, 27 years old. Whatever. Couldn't wake up to go to an amusement park. Oh God. Unbelievable. Also, then he did also take a shot at my awful gauntlet time on the yak, which is very bad. I was the worst ever. I'm not a good basketball player. I bricked like 93s, but he also has hours of tape as a basketball player, and his basketball skills make me look like fucking LeBron James. So
Would
I'm
you
not
ever
really sure
do
he's the one to comment on.
one-on-one game against Coleman?
I think I would. I think I'd beat him. Yeah. I don't think that'd be a problem. I think I'm slow and I could run circles around him. He's nothing. There's game film on him. That won't be happening.
I'd like to see a one-on-one.
I don't know where that will happen. I guess when we visit Jersey next time.
Yeah.
I'll go take him on in the famous cul-de-sac he grew up playing in. Whatever. Wish him nothing but the best, I'm sure. Olympics wise, the United States won a lot of gold today, actually. They're actually behind pace to where they were in Tokyo when they almost did not win the gold medal count. Simone Biles, greatest Olympic gymnast of all time. Francis, you were fenced before?
No.
That's stunning.
Look,
it is a high-class sport.
People think that just because you went to Harvard that you were involved in everything that Harvard is associated with. I didn't have time to fence at Harvard. I was having a hard time with my homework. You have to do work, not to fail.
Yeah, how hard
Fair
is
rebuttal.
Harvard?
I don't know. It's harder to. They say it's harder to get in than to do okay. I don't know. I worked hard. I had to work my butt off.
It has to be a standards and expectations thing, because in the end, like, the curriculum it's mostly the same across the board, right?
No, that's not true. There's a core. Well, there was. I don't know if they still have it, but there was a core curriculum, which meant that depending on the major you chose, you had to take a certain number of classes that were far afield from your concentration. So, like, if you were a math major, they made you take science classes and English classes or whatever to make sure that you had some kind of a well-rounded education. And
that makes sense. I meant more like within like your specific field. I feel like there's only like, I don't know, like if you're going to be an astrologist, I don't know why that's the one I landed on. I feel like you are learning like the same, like in that box, like the same things as other schools, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I went to a state university. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, there's some pretty long titles for classes at Harvard. I took Democracy, Alienation, and Muslims in the West, a class on the integration of Muslim immigrants into Western societies. And it was a really good class.
Want to know what class that I took at Penn State?
What?
It's called Joe Paterno, Communications in the Media.
Is this before or after?
Before.
Got it.
Yeah, it's right around the time. I also, yeah.
Yeah. What's his philosophy? If you see something, don't say something.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Media crisis class might exist at that school. Yeah, so Simone Biles is the greatest of all time. Yeah, fencing won. This woman, Lee Kiefer, is now the greatest fencer in the United States history. They won their first gold in one of the team events. Swimming won some gold today. And basketball is good. The main basketball teams are good. People freaked out about the men's team for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They played fake exhibition games and people took that to heart. But the 3-on-3, you guys were the 3-on-3 basketball teams?
I didn't know that was a thing until Dave mentioned it on the Unnamed show today.
It was added 4 years ago or 3 years ago, Tokyo. Women won gold. The men this year are like one of the top ranked teams. They have Jimmer Fredette, who is the best.
Him get like a little hand job on the sideline from that trainer.
He's the best 3-on-3 player in the world. They're all combined. The teams are 0-6. They stink. They're terrible. Wow.
Who else is on the USA team? The men's team.
Canyon Barry, son of Rick Barry. Haley Van Lith is on the women's team. She's that good basketball player, is also known for being incredibly attractive. Cameron Brink was on the team, the tall one, got drafted, but she got injured. Yeah, one of the new sports. Fred, you're a lacrosse guy. Lacrosse got added to the Olympics in 4 years.
What? It did?
Did you know that?
They're playing this year?
No, 4 year in LA. There will be lacrosse in the Olympics.
Yeah, Jake Malasek is going to be the Czech Republic goalie.
Yeah, one of our coworkers, Jake Malasek, is the goalie for the Czech Republic national team. If the Czech Republic qualifies for the 2028 Olympics, he will be an Olympian.
Whoa, that is cool. Yeah, it's weird. I've played in some of these, like I've scrimmaged in my time against some of these world teams, and I remember that, Ireland, Israel, it was all Americans that had like some ancient relative that was once upon a time a citizen of those countries. I don't know. They're good for it. Has to be that for the Olympics, they're going to tighten up a little bit on proving one's citizenship.
Citizenship is obviously a big part of it, but even like the Japanese basketball team, they have someone, Josh Hawkinson, I believe his name is.
Say right off the bat, I'm going to question that. I'm going to raise a flag on that.
Josh Hawkinson, he's born in Seattle. He became a Japanese citizen, and he plays for the Japanese team, which is they almost beat Victor Wembanyama in France the other night.
Do you see that picture? The one guy on the Japanese team guarding Wembanyama, he was like literally just guarding his knee, basically.
So yeah, that's an option. Flag football's in the Olympics in 4 years. They want NFL players to play in that. We cannot lose that.
No,
that's national embarrassment. Like basketball was an embarrassment when they lost like 20 years ago. Losing flag football would be an outrage.
Yeah,
to these other countries.
I don't care Olympics about the 3-on-3. I don't mind that. Everyone knows we put all of our studs on the real team.
I feel like we should put the studs on that team though, at least for LA.
We should put we should put a couple.
Defend the home soil. The triathlons were completed. There was that whole thing about the river in Paris. It took $1.5 billion to clean it. One of the athletes from Belgium said, I drank a lot of the water. We'll know tomorrow whether I'm sick or not. I saw another athlete say they saw things in the water that they don't feel like they should discuss.
I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. What
would that even be? Like a dead body?
That would be, it's dead bodies or human shit. So I don't know what.
You're fighting to win an Olympic triathlon. You're not going down there with a snorkel and checking around to see what's in there.
You're at like this, like if it's this deep, you're like up here.
Right.
I don't believe that person. I think they're just piling on to how everyone was worried about it. And I'm sure the quality isn't great, but guess what? This is the price you pay when you compete in a triathlon in a major city. Every city's major river is fucked. And
that is like, yeah, right. Remember, that was Rio. Like every body of water in Rio, they were like, we have to decontaminate this water.
Yeah. I wonder like where there are what cities actually have swimmable waterways. I saw something about I saw a clip recently about a city in, I think, Austria, or maybe it was Switzerland, where people commute home from work by getting into the river with a waterproof bag for their belongings, and they float down. And it looked pretty awesome.
I was going to say, that sounds lovely.
It was really nice looking.
The exact quote was, which I almost think this is worse. I saw things I don't want to think about.
I don't believe her.
Yeah.
That better be like the bottom of the river in The Sopranos. There better just be, it's got to be all of them just floating there. That's the only reason to make a comment like that.
It was probably just like garbage. Probably saw like a fucking McDonald's cup or something.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, golf started today. Xander Schauffele trying to win back-to-back gold medals, cap off his great year. I watched race walking late last night. Race walking, a significantly more difficult sport than people think it is. I just want to note that.
Is there a higher?
I'd love to watch that.
Is there a higher instance of defecating those tiny shorts in race walking over the marathon? For some reason, I feel like that is where it happens.
Well, if you ever seen it, you have to have one foot on the ground at all times. That's like part of the rule. And there's a certain way you can't move your hips higher than a certain height. So I think you're right. I think the way your body's jostling, I think you're working up shitting yourself more in race walking than anything else.
It is the walk you do when you have to go to the bathroom.
That is true.
And yeah, it might just be like it triggers your brain. Like your brain's like, why is my body moving like this? I must have to defecate.
Jeff D-Lo, I have a question. Are they refereeing every single step?
Oh, yeah.
The course of tens and tens of thousands of steps and all these racers to make sure that your one foot is on the ground every time? I mean, do people get called for it?
The play-by-play guy last night was actually John Anderson, former Sports Center anchor, which is incredibly random. He did a very good job explaining it to those who don't know in the beginning. And there are guys, they look like they live in like Del Boca Vista on Seinfeld. They walk around with their hats and they have paddles and they raise the paddle. It's like a yellow, red, and they warn them. You get like a couple amount of warnings, then you get put into a penalty box. And then if you do it again, like you're disqualified.
So it's got to be a tough thing to do play-by-play for. He's walking. He's sped up a little bit. Like how long is the race? One
of his quotes was this guy Bonfim from Brazil was out to a fast start and he said Bonfim is a very accomplished walker was the exact quote, which I think is a great.
Yeah.
There was actually a guy who dropped out mid-race, and like when you watch like a marathoner or a sprinter drop out, it's pretty jarring because all of a sudden like they go from fast to nothing and they kind of hobble off. But the guy just walked off. Like he goes from course
to world-class walker.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that sport's still in the Olympics, because clearly the Olympics is making an effort to energize and youthify and add new exciting sports, skateboarding, lacrosse even, let's say.
This year breaking, aka breakdancing.
Yeah. And the fact that shit walking, race walking is still there means we're just not going to take it that seriously. If I see that on television, I say, fuck the Olympics.
I think race walking, I might, like when Jeff said that, I was like, I kind of want to see that. I'd rather watch that.
You'd watch it, Tommy, you would watch it for 3 minutes and then you'd say no more.
But that's how I do most of it. I actually have like barely watched the Olympics this year. I feel like Jeff's going to kill me if he hears that, but.
No, it's... I know you retweet my schedule. That's all I care about.
I will say I did see the other day, some random guy made like a similar schedule. It had like 30,000 retweets. I was like, Jeff D's got to find this guy. And
there's a guy who does a worse schedule, gets more retweets. It kills me every time I see it. I hate it. This is not nearly as good as mine.
If that guy ends up dead, there is no investigation. Yeah. Just go right to Jeff D's house.
But to your point, Francis, wrestling fights like death to stay in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Baseball just out. It's coming back in LA, and then it's going to leave again. And yet race walking, it just coasts on through.
Yeah,
no issues. It's like wrestling is like that is like and it's still in the Olympics, but like they've had to fight to keep it in there.
Yeah.
Bring back jousting. That's it. Anything else?
No.
Nothing else we can think of. Anything else going on? All right. Well,
I will say, huge props to Simone Biles. Honestly, she did it.
It's unreal.
And it's a sport that one misstep. I mean, I watched her floor routine today, and her foot is inches from going out of bounds, and never happened.
She had a small hiccup on the uneven bars. Mm-hmm. And she basically was judged as having a like mediocre routine because of that. It's like the tiniest little thing. A gymnast doing 2 Olympics is crazy. To do 3 and to win gold in your 3rd is like, it is unthinkable.
Really impressive.
It's just crazy.
Proud of her.
You think she's done after this?
Yeah.
I think yes, but I think there's gonna be a lot of Olympians who are on their last leg who may push it because it's going to be in the United States in 4 years, who want to do it in front of a home crowd. So.
Can we bring Michael Phelps back for the 2020?
Imagine that. Just swims 1 race. Why not?
That'd be unreal.
Fuck it. That's it. Thanks for the rundown. Good seeing you, Francis. It's been a while.
You too, Jeff D'Lo. Miss you, pal.
I've seen both of you guys very recently.
I know. I've seen you quite a bit recently, Tommy.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.